Okay, let's see if this works. I have my phone on my stand and I'm just praying that it stays there because it just had fell. Well, it's Monday and it is still October, which is Domestic Violence Awareness Month, and every day I'm showing up for you to help you navigate through this healing process of the repeated cycles of toxic men or toxic relationships. And I've read the entire book, my book, Empower the Woman Within with you. We finally got to chapter 12, which is so amazing. It's about my story of going through all of that and then finally finding true love, a healthy love at the time 42 years old. I'm not 42 anymore. No, 45, excuse me. But anyway, chapter 12 was like the climax. It was the beautiful ending to the horrible story that I had. And I share that with you to show you what's possible for you too. That no matter how bad your past relationships have been, you can have a healthy love. You can find somebody who loves and adores you. You can live in a fun, adoring, healthy relationship with somebody. You can stop attracting the toxic men and the toxic situations. So today, since we've gone through the whole book and we're still in October, today I want to answer your questions. So every time you come into the group, when somebody comes into the group, there's like a little questionnaire. And when you answer those questions, thank you so much, by the way, you help me to be able to help you. So I'm going to read to you some of the questions that I get because, believe it or not, some of you ask the same exact, like word for word, the same questions, which I know there's a high demand for that. And I usually try to get to those first. So let me just run through some of the questions that I've received recently, because what I do is I take a snapshot of your entry and then I keep it on my phone. That way I have it forever. Okay. So how to heal after toxic relationships and select the right person afterward. Understanding how this happened again. So I got 2 of those in just the few that I went through. So that's a popular one. Understanding how this happened again. How to spot a narcissist early on. Key things to notice. How to know before it's too late. I talk about this all the time. How to not be invested in another, it could be months, years, another marriage, and then you find out. When does the pain end? How to detect it sooner before you end up in a long-term relationship with them, which is kind of the same as the other one that I just read. How to know before it's too late. Why they blame you for everything. Will I ever be the same after this relationship? Is it something about me that's wrong with me? I get that a lot too. And that's why I repeat myself to say, I know that you may feel broken. You may feel like you're damaged goods, but you're not. There's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with you. I know it feels like that, but I promise you there's nothing wrong with you. In fact, the only thing of what's going on is that you're wounded. So you're not broken. There's nothing to be fixed. You're not damaged. You're wounded, emotionally wounded. And welcome to the club. Like we've all either been wounded or we are all wounded. So that's why I say there's nothing wrong with you, because then there'd be something wrong with everybody, right? All you have to do is just heal those emotional wounds. Once you heal those emotional wounds, and like to every single one of these questions, I could give you just one answer. Heal your emotional wounds. Heal your emotional wounds. Heal your emotional wounds. Heal your emotional wounds. Because ultimately, once you do that, all of these questions won't be questions anymore. Okay. Is there something wrong about me? How do I love myself again? That's a popular one. I get, how do I love myself again? How do I get back to the way I felt before that relationship or this series of relationships? And why are we afraid to speak our truth? That one I got from a male. Why are we afraid to speak our truth? So I just want to go through a few of these for you to help you get a better understanding of what's really going on. Like I said, the answer to all of these is for you to look within you, to look inside of you, and to heal your emotional wounds. I knew she was going to bark when I do a Facebook Live. I just knew it. Why did I keep her in here? Hold on. It's real life, ladies and gents. It's real life. This is how it goes. Okay. And the reason I say that is because once I went through my healing journey and my clients go through their healing journeys, there's no more of these questions. There's such clarity around who you are, what you've been through, and moving forward. When you heal, there's such clarity around those three things that you don't have these questions anymore. You simply know. You know how to trust yourself. You've already gone through the forgiving part. You know you've practiced loving yourself, like you know exactly what self-love really is. There's these 3 key points. I've added a 4, but there's these 3 key points to healing. And these 3 key points were shared to us by our great masters. Jesus Christ, Buddha, Krishna, and other masters just like that have all said the same thing. 3 keys to healing. This is why I talk about this all the time. I give it to you all the time. Because if you can get these 3 things, and like I said, I've added a 4th, then your life will be just amazing. Okay, so here they are. Self-love, forgiveness, truth. Those are the 3 things. Self-love, forgiveness, truth. The 4th that I've added is trust, because trust is such a challenge when you are recovering from narcissistic relationships. But if you could even get these 3, if you could love yourself like deeply, deeply love yourself. If you could forgive yourself, forgive others, forgive other people for what they did or didn't do, forgive yourself for what you did or didn't do. And truth. Be able to speak your truth. When you can speak your truth, and there's no charge, there's no emotion to you speaking that truth, that's healing. That's healing. So one of the things that I share all the time, whether it's on a webinar, or on a Facebook Live like this, or my YouTube videos, or on stage, is that when I was pregnant with my children, so my kids are exactly 1 year and a day apart. And in the first trimester of my pregnancy, like any of you who've had a baby, you know that they test you for everything in the first trimester, like everything under the sun. Well, here I am, 22 years old, or there I was, 22 years old, and, or 23 years old, and they test me and it comes back that I'm positive for an STD, chlamydia to be exact. So I'm really, really young. I had just gotten married, like, I think we were married like a year. I did not want to believe that my new husband that I was in love with was cheating on me. Didn't want to believe it. So what I did was everything and anything to avoid the truth of that situation. Now, again, my kids are a year and a day apart. So exactly 1 year later, they have to test me for everything again. So I go in for the testing, and again, I test positive for chlamydia. And so now I'm like confused. So I'm still very young. I'm still a new mom. My child was not even a year. And I still don't want to believe. So now I make even more excuses of why this is happening. Okay. So then 9 years later, maybe it was 7, something around that time span, I go in for a regular checkup. No, it wasn't a regular checkup. I had symptoms, but not like, you can have chlamydia with no symptoms. So I go into my gynecologist and she tests me and she's like, oh yeah, it's a bacterial infection. No big deal. Here's antibiotic, blah, blah, blah. Okay, great. We're just going to test you for chlamydia just in case. Okay, great. Comes back positive again. 3 times. 3 times. So now I'm older. Now I'm like in my 30s, I think. Yeah, early 30s. And now I'm thinking, this can't be. How could I get this 3 times and he's not cheating? He has to be cheating. Part of me was thinking that. The other part of me was still in denial. There's no way that he would do that. He comes home to me every night, yada, 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 yada. Anyway, I share this with you because this topic is something that I could not speak without breaking down into the ugly cry. This is something that I could not share with anybody, like the closest people to me, without being so ashamed, feeling so embarrassed, so stupid, feeling, blaming myself for letting it happen 3 times. There was just so much emotional poison, pain around this topic. Whereas now I'm sharing it with you, as you can see, and there's no charge. I'm not crying. I'm not emotional. I'm not holding in my words. I'm not trying to get my words out because I have learned how to speak my truth. I've learned, hey, Alexandra, I've learned to get comfortable with speaking my truth. As painful as that was for me at one time, I can now speak it with no charge, no emotion tied to it. And that is so beautiful because it doesn't have a hold on me anymore. That story does not have a hold on me anymore. Whereas before, that story had it had power over me. I literally would be, avoid any conversation that had to do with, testing, STDs and anything like that because I didn't want it to come up. And I was so embarrassed, even though the conversation wasn't even about me. It had such a hold on me. When you can tell your truth from the past, the things that have happened or didn't happen to you, you literally have liberation and freedom inside of you. There's no more control. Nobody's controlling you. The story's not controlling you. The person is not controlling you. The situation is not controlling you. You're free. You're free. And nobody can hold that against you. Nobody can threaten you. Ooh, Denise, I'm going to tell so-and-so that you have blah, blah, blah. Go ahead. It's in my book. I speak, because my sisters have done that before. I have sisters. There's no power. You've literally you've literally taken back your power. You've taken your power back and they can't do anything about it. And that is the freedom in telling your truth. So the 3 core keys to healing is loving yourself, everything, the whole thing, forgiveness, forgiving yourself, forgiving others, forgiving situations, experiences, whatever, and truth, telling your truth, sharing your truth without any emotion. And then, like I said, the 4th one is trust, trusting yourself, trusting the process, trusting life, trusting even when things don't look like you want them to or they're supposed to look, trusting and knowing that it's happening for a reason. And what is the opportunity in this? What can I learn from this? So those are the 4 keys to healing that I share. So again, if I go and answer these questions of how to cope with self-detrimental thinking, how to heal after a toxic relationship and select the right person, understanding how this happened, how do I spot a narcissist early on, what are the key things to notice? There's really just that answer to all of these questions, is to go within and heal yourself, to do those 4 key things, and you won't ask these questions. You'll have the answers, because everything begins and ends with you. Everything that you're wanting, everything that you are pondering, everything begins and ends with you. You have everything inside of you to heal you. So go within. Go within. Like, reading books are great. Getting therapy is great. Getting counseling is great. But those 3 things don't heal. Healing, you have to go in and heal these emotional poisons, these emotional wounds, these emotional pains that you've been through, that like you're carrying them like a heavy backpack. You're carrying them around. And yes, emotional wounds can and will turn into physical ailments. So autoimmune diseases, because we're all connected, mind, body, and soul. We're all connected. So cancer, autoimmune diseases, anxiety, depression, high blood pressure, all of that is showing up for you. It's your body speaking to you. It's your body telling you something. It's giving you a message. It's not, oh, my mom, we all have high blood pressure. No. It's telling you, your body is communicating with you always, 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 always. So how do you solve this? You go within, you heal. You can start with the books. You can start with the counseling. You can start with the therapy. That's great. In fact, I would rather work with somebody who's gone through therapy and counseling, because it creates a foundation. This means that that person has invested in themselves and they care about themselves. They want to heal. They want a better life. So they've tried and tried. Healing is the answer to all of this. So I'm going to leave it with that, my loves. What I am doing is I'm creating a YouTube video breaking down each and every one of the questions that you've asked to come into the group into a YouTube video. So I post my YouTube videos periodically in the group. If you listen to them and they give you any value, which that's my main point, my main goal is to give you value. Would you do me a favor? Would you like it? Would you subscribe to my channel? Would you comment? You can even comment on the YouTube videos on a topic that you would like addressed. Maybe you got into the group and you didn't ask a question. Maybe somebody invited you. You can do that on these videos. So I'm uploading a new YouTube video every single day, every day. So when you subscribe to my channel, that's how you'll know, like, this video is coming up. And what I do is I take your words, the words that you typed in to get into the group, the questions that you want answered, and I use that as material to answer your question in a video. I break it down and I focus on just that one question. So, if you would do that, that would be amazing. Thank you so much in advance. And if you're ready to go in, if you're like, Denise, I've tried and I need help, then let's connect. I will post the link in the comments below and you and I can get on a call and we can work out a personalized plan for you. I will give you clarity on that call, because clarity is power. It is such power when you have clarity, right? Sitting in confusion, pondering, overthinking, what am I going to do? That is not you. That's not you and your power. So on the Heal Your Heart session, I will give you clarity so that you know and have an aha moment and like, oh, that's what's been going on. Oh, that's what I need to do. Okay, that's how this person is showing up and this is why, and all of that. I'll put that in the comments below and I would love to connect with you and see what we can do together. Otherwise, look for those YouTube videos. Stay in the group. It's October. I'm going to continue doing this. This is the last week of Domestic Violence Awareness Month, October. And so I am going to be showing up every day in the group with the videos and then also the YouTube videos every day. All right, my loves. Mwah. Have an amazing day.